Alright. Let's go. Signs of Life versus Afterlife. Should have changed that info ahead of time, but here we are. This is SOC games. All that together. Here we are. Hey, betters. Okie dokie. Right. Signs of Life versus Afterlife featuring Aim Blue. Have we got the spectator settings correct? I don't think so. Nope. Signs of Life. Afterlife. Cool. Promises to be a tough match. SOC match. So, Hercules banned, of course. Top solo laner, no surprise. Nox banned, top support, no surprise. Marty banned, top ADC and mid laner. Hellboy banned, top jungle and mid laner. Thor banned, top solo and... Nah, he's actually top jungle. We'll see about that. And Hell banned because Hell. Afro's open, so that's interesting to know. Everyone skipped Afro. With the select insta lock, insta slam, they weren't even thinking about it. Afro's kind of not quite as good anymore. Yeah, I don't know about the Thor ban. I feel like Thor maybe worth considering something else there. Maybe the Afro, maybe the Socket. Socket's certainly seeing a lot more play than Thor, but it's always up to the boys. We'll see what they're going to get in response to this Socket. Socket, obviously high mobility, got like crit chance, builds semi-tanky. One of the only junglers at the moment who builds semi-tanky. And we've gone with a tier Athena response. So we've locked in our tanks. We seem to be top picking those at the moment. From the side of the Signs of Life. Tier's got a very safe laning phase, pretty safe to pick up early. Guan Yu, yep, that's the solo lane pick into Tier. Can't fillet him out of the 3, can't interrupt it at all. So Tier's at best got a 50-50 matchup, pretty stale matchup there. Athena, I assume that will be going the way of Panos on the support, so that's more global presences and more easy dash taunt engages, or taunt dash in some cases, blink taunt. No end to that. Double healing already on the side of Aim Blue's team, on the side of Afterlife. Kind of makes you wish you could pick up a Socket, but you've already locked in your solo laner and your tank, and the premier anti-heal jungler is already gone. So sustained fights are already out the window, right? You can't take big poke fights, 2 minutes of faffing about around Fire Giant. You've got to deal with this healing. You've got to go burst. Luckily, we have a very experienced burst hunter inside Danzabur. So we are looking to get picks. We are looking to take uneven fights, reduce their chances. You can't let them just poke and heal up, because that's a game that they win every single time. Ram bound away for Signs of Life. Ram into Danzabur, yeah. So it's not quite as easy a matchup for Danzabur, so it makes sense to take it away. Morgan Le Fay gone for Afterlife. That is one of Cryonix's happiest picks for mid lane, so not surprised to see it gone if they know about Cries the God pool. It's also just a generically strong pick, good CC, good self peel. Works well into this healy pokey backline. Something they don't want to deal with. The fear can very easily lock stuff down. Merlin gone as well. Okay, less mid lane. Agni's open. And a Wheelish gone finally on the side of Afterlife. A Wheelish banned smart, because we do have to draft. Sounds like do have to draft into a burst pick comp, really, to deal with this double healer. So taking away a god that excels at those picks, and especially can lock out Cirquette, who can't use her 3 at all, with a Wheelish on the battlefield. So we do pick her up in the Agni, on the side of Signs of Life. Yeah, generically good, pretty safe, even into the Circuit, can really follow up on this Athena very well, can dash after her on an aggressive engage, bomb from range. Always good. Izanami. I was just thinking about Izanami. That was my other thought of what you'd pick into a Danza. If you can't fight him 1v1, just try and out-pressure him. I think the name of the game, the Izanami, is probably going to be out-pressure and rotate. When they're going to let us on the official stream? Probably never. Probably never. There's the official stream is run by Judas Priestley, and he's doing production stuff work for the SCC at the moment, so he's just not available for it. Maybe next split, I don't know. But we've been given our blessing to just do it like this, so that's what we're doing. Doing like this, and I will be casting other games for other teams, but they just haven't. No one's sent me any match IDs to review. Anyway, final pickup is a Yu Huang for aim blue in mid. Yeah, again, very safe, very nice, very good. I do like what's going on the side of Afterlife. And the final pick on the side of Signs of Life was a Bakasura, which it looks like is going to JJ in the jungle. Okay. Not sure about the draft from Signs of Life. It's a bit all over the place. When you've tried to draft this pick style, you do have the cripple on the Bakasura ult to try and lock down the Circuit. But Bakasura excels at farming and getting really super ahead, and then running a game as a result. And the rest of the team, with the exception of the Athena, doesn't really help him with that in the slightest. I would have liked, if you were going to draft for this, I think maybe the tier could have been a Nike. That could have done some strong work. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's go into the match. One thing that Afterlife do lack is any real engage outside of Terra and Guan Yu, and those, like the Monolith Shatter for a big root and the Cavalry Charge, are pretty big ults and important abilities. Be a shame to lose them. Okay, everyone loaded in. Let's rearrange this. It's Hunters at the bottom. Guardians, and mid laners, and solo laners at the top. Okie dokie. Yeah, I think draft favours Afterlife. They've got a kind of a mobile in-out and then a strong backline. So Ket goes in and pokes and then leaves. Can full commit with the ult pretty simply. The solo lane is in favour of them, so they'll have a Guan Yu free and able to rotate. The duo lane obviously is a very aggressive setup from Signs of Life, and they've been able to compensate for Terra's lack of early clear with an Izanami on the size of Afterlife. So that one's kind of down to player skill, I think. There's a very real possibility that first blood could go to either side on those waves. The mid fight's definitely in favour of Afterlife for the first 5 levels until Bakasura gets his ult online. I'm not sure what he can do against the Circuit. There'll have to be a large mistake there for that to start happening. See what's going on. They're doing this start. I've seen this a little bit more recently, where it's mid. Mid is the one that solos out the speed buff on this side. Often picks up this speed buff, in fact, and uses it to stay safer in laning than the red. Quite interesting. Obviously, the XP results are exactly the same. No, he doesn't. He's not going to pick that up. He's just soloing it. In which case, I'm not sure why you'd bother with that if you're not going to pick up the red. You might as well just do it normally. Now, you take less damage if you do it the other way, and Circuit picks up that speed, because then Yu Huang doesn't have to Doesn't have to eat that quite as much yet. Blink forward. Yep, gets the beads off of Cry. Cry maybe didn't need to beads that. A bit cautious. Cautious on the side of Cryonic. Maybe unnecessarily. He's gonna die for it. JJ's about to die for it too. Yeah, you really, with a Bakasura in this early fight, you really can't be doing that. And while the beads was good on Cry there, I don't think it was needed. I think he was far enough behind the archers. Bakasura was present up front. Yu Huang didn't have the pressure. Couldn't really do much for him there. Did Cry just dash through a stun again? Am I gone mad, or is Yu Huang no longer a stun? I'm pretty sure I saw Cry get stunned but still dash out. So Ket has stayed around here. Is JJ spotted? JJ's definitely spotted him out. There's no way he's that blind. He can definitely go in and eat these. There's no way Soket can secure these harpies again to a Bakasura eat. She's not going to. She's just going to try and do damage. JJ manages to take them both. He wins this trade. He's got his passive up, even though there's a level advantage. Yeah, but... Go blue... No, he's there. Sensei's got her abilities back up. JJ could still win this one, technically. His shard is down, though. And he's still the level down due to that first blood. Poke coming out from Cry. So Ket still hasn't left. It doesn't want to gank anything. Misses. He definitely jumped out of that stun. That can't... That's not a stun anymore. That's definitely not a stun. Okay. I'll have to look up what on earth it does. Why don't I do that now? What does this do now? Root. It's a root now. Okay. Right. Well, been playing that wrong my entire life. Panos getting aggro in the jungle. Just trying to deny the purple buff invade that they're looking for. JJ and Cry are in the way. They're around. It rotates there. No, JJ's just going to go and steal theirs. He's going to let his dual lane fight for the other purple buff. This is excellent. There's an invade on the other side for blue. But we all know that Miltiades is most comfortable when he doesn't have his blue buff and is 2 levels down. Nearly manages to secure it. Maybe a 1 auto off. Very, very small there. And yep, JJ eats the purple buff and away. So 1 for 1 on the buff trade. Looking to get the Hunter ahead. Yeah, this clear fight is always going to go in the favour of the Ism army now, especially now that the Terra actually has clear available to her. Okay, Mil's just going to get pushed under tower now for quite a bit. Actually, no, he's pushing into their tower. Huh, wrong tower. Panos has picked up the purple, yeah. Exactly what you love to see. He's probably going to leave Pedders alone here, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, Danzaburo can get out of that pretty nicely. He's not really in too much danger in this laning phase beyond maybe without him a huge mistake coming through. Item builds, yeah. Mystical Earring for Miltiades on the tier. Knows what's going to happen. Knows he's not going to get his blue buff. And he resigns himself to it. Great poke out from Chronic. Aim Blue has only just come back and is already back to half HP. No pots there either at all. Has he got a pot ticking? It doesn't tell me anymore about that. But yeah, great pressure secured in mid. Bakasura has hit level 5. He's got the full Golden Blade online. Is now a real jungle threat. Cry trying to solo this out. There are 3 people in mid now. Is this a gold buff? No. Is this just a gold buff invade, or is this a full invade into left? Is this a full invade? There's a gank coming in into left, but the rest of the team's there. Soket coming. Invis on the Izanami is going to be enough to get out. Preemptive ult, very good from Pedders. Connects instantly onto... Ooh, taunt did come through. Wow. Okay, I completely lost my ability to speak there for a second, as I forgot who was what. But yeah, gank successful for Signs of Life. Not the kill they were expecting, but the one they deserve. Chronic comes through as well. Full rotation all the way from mid. Thanks to that earlier poke, Aim Blue had to go back, and mid is been freed up to rotate. JJ continuing to put damage through onto the Terror, but it's all over now. Gold buff secured, invade secured as well, I think, onto this purple, unless it's an armor's going to steal it. Nah, you can't out-secure that Bakasura Eat. Not without some good hard CC. Miltiades managed to secure his own blue buff again. He does in a 1v1 on the other side. So that's going well. Yep, successful, strong gank from Signs of Life. Afterlife did seem like they had either spotted it out or were busy on the counter rotate, but the really early ult from the Danzaburo manages to save his life as Soket full engages on him, and Athena ult comes through as well. And Soket gets greedy and overstays. Look at the wards from Afterlife though. Afterlife want this Gold Fury and they want it soon. We've got wards placed at all important egresses in the jungle. Going to absolutely run it down within the next minute. Wouldn't be surprised. Terra's just stood right there for the past minute, waiting to get a gank back into the Pedders, but she really can't do that. Like, there's not enough damage coming through, especially not from an Izanami this early, and there's really not enough threat on the side of the Terra. Like, Pedders burns nothing, just presses 3 and walks away. Terra has to use the big root engage just to manage to get close to him, and then without an incredible wall, it's never going to be enough. Yeah, maybe Pedders as clear isn't up to Izanami standards, but still enough to stop the wave from being pushed into tower. Bakasura is here. Is JJ going to get the ult off in time? No, just forced to dash out. Is JJ's ult even up on the Bakasura? It is. He could have crippled it out. Decides not to. It's a 2v2 now. JJ's been caught in the wrong position. Ulted, he's dead. There's no way he lives through this. There's too much chase down on the side of the Soket. Wards are not up in the deep jungle over here for Signs of Life, and he doesn't see the Soket coming until it's too late. Now, if you're going to play aggressive, you've got to be able to back that one up, and he was standing a bit too far forward. Wasn't able to do that. Could maybe have turned it with an ult and Wing Shard and Golden Blade. Could maybe have done a lot of damage. But there we go. That's that Afterlife Gold Fury pull that they've warded for and they're ready for. Dueling Dragons connects onto Cry with a lot of damage, but the Pedders ult is through. Dash through by Chronic for the extra damage. Dark's already used all of his ults. Charges earlier. Excellent Gold Fury rotation to counter that out by Chronic. JJ still hunting in the back for a low Izanami as she pulls 2 buffs at once. There's no way she's going to be able to secure these. No. These have got to go into tower now. Yeah. Gold lost for that. Yeah, excellent spot on the Gold Fury call. And Pedders ults in to help it out, and Cry again is getting this pressure in mid and has just got more rotation with the dash that Aim Blue doesn't have. He can just be places faster than Aim Blue on this Yu Huang. Good point. Let's get a leaderboard up. I want to see net worth. There we go. It's the mids. The mids are doing the farming. Yu Huang hasn't rotated to these fights and is as a result 300 gold up on Cry. And what looks like nearly a full level. Cry is 2 and 2. It's a shame that he's trading out his life in these big rotations in mid. But this Terra gank isn't doing anything. And there's too much safety on the side of Signs of Life against exactly a Terra route. It doesn't stop a dash. It doesn't stop a Bakasura jump. It doesn't stop Danzaburo leafing away. It doesn't stop Tyr at all. It doesn't even interrupt Tyr. It doesn't concern him in the slightest. So yeah, this Terror engage is looking worse and worse by the minute. Well, maybe just the way it's being used. It's not really stopping anything. It's not really interrupting anybody. I still yet to see a proper Bakasura ult connect. Good taunt in from the Athena. Bakasura does drop the ult purely as a survival tool for the CC immunity. Terra ult was popped as well. Quite a lot used. Aim Blue is still low. If he sticks around for too long, it could be trouble. So kept looking for a invader onto the green buff. It's not there. It's going to wrap all the way around to Duo Tower after all that excitement in mid. And Pedders is safe. Pedders is wary. Pedders is used to being the carry. Yeah, Galadriel getting poked out a lot on this Terra, but all she has to do really is wait. All Galadriel has to do is wait. They should be able to secure Pyro here for Signs of Life, thanks to that Huge amount of pressure secured in mid. There's no way Terra can steal this at all. And Yu Huang had to back again. Yep. Pyromancer secured. First major objective of the game goes to Sign of Life. Goes some way towards redressing the gold difference down to a pretty even 300 or so. Very much to think about. Ulting over to left as Peters was attempting to solo out the Izanami. Izanami dash still up, but there's way too much distance gained on that. No chance. No chance of catching out the Izanami. Would have needed the Danza rocket as well, I think, to do that. Gold buff taken. JJ walking forwards into the Terror still. Everyone's here. I don't think they haven't spotted out the Circuit yet. They should have. She walked over a ward. She's come around the back. There's only Panos there as a target for her. She wants to kill JJ. JJ's locking her down with the cripple field. Absolutely murdered. Ooh, Dueling Dragons does connect on JJ. Has to beads in response. Peters is here. Cry is rotated through too. It's a 4v3. Solen is not rotating in. Terror, teamfight ult popped. It's still looking good for Signs of Life, honestly. There's an army dash burned as well, but they're going to retreat. They're going to back off from here. Okay. Yep, just a quick pick for Signs of Life, but not getting anything on it. No Gold Fury core's gone up. Pyromancer's already down. Can't really push down any towers as everyone's retreating to their lanes. Oh, I'm going to steal the red buff though. That's something. Taking advantage of this Bakasura mobility and farm. Bakasura going crit, it seems. Bladed Boomerang. Already bought. T1 tower goes down in left. As Izanami exerts that split push tower aggro ability. If they'd seen the Terror back, that was maybe an excellent time to engage onto the Izanami. But it might have just done it behind a wall enough to not be spotted out. Izanami's playing smart. She knows that Danzaburo wants a 1v1. She knows that the only thing Peters has done this pick for is to win 1v1s in lane. So she's just not giving him the opportunity to fight at all. Yep, still pretty even. Gold difference is completely wiped out from red buff invades and a Pyromancer. Pretty good. Because due to all the pressure in duo, Peters is getting the better of the neutral farm as well. Gold buff has been going his way more often than not. So grouping around gold now. As both teams seem to want to get onto this pretty quickly. Pulled but immediately dropped by Signs of Life. The gang's all here. Solaners aren't. Terror caught out, has to ult in immediately. Oh, Izanami got out, but the flames from Cry are going to have to pick it up. Dueling Dragons used, good push back. Cry's low, gets ulted by the Circuit. Gets some damage off before he dies. Circuit's really low. The taunt manages to hit him from Peters. The immunity from being blue is just enough. JJ jumps the comeback, and Galadriel comes back in for no good reason. A surrender vote goes up from Afterlife. And oh, this is really smart. Signs of Life managed to retreat before Guan Yu makes it all the way over on the rotation, and Milt knows this is happening, so doesn't come. Manages to push another wave into tower, extend his lead in solo. Excellent fight from Signs of Life. Really hope they would have been able to pull the Gold Fury immediately to capitalise on that, and they need to be wary now of Afterlife doing the same. They just take the W, they take the wins and dip. Though JJ hasn't dipped enough, it seems, just to jump over the wall. Cavalry getting cavalry charged down. There's an Athena ult coming through from him. Is it enough? I don't know if it's going to be enough. The taunt manages to save him. I don't think they can kill this Guan Yu though. He's too big. Level 15. Caduceus Club and Breastplate of Regrowth already online. JJ escapes with the skin of his teeth. This is where we have to be wary of Gold Fury going down. Gold buff going down, obviously, but the Guan Yu's still over here. It's a 5-man grouping now from Afterlife. And JJ's not around. They're missing the jungler on the sides of Signs of Life. There's 3 people here posturing, thinking about it. Root comes onto Panos, but Circa just walked through in the back for free, straight onto Cryonic. Cryonic's bursted down. There's a taunt from Panos, but there's no follow-up from it at all. JJ's made it back. The Gold Fury's been reset. JJ ulting in onto Jim Diablo. Jim Diablo goes down. The cripple field's fantastic. Dueling Dragons pushes everybody back again. Multiadas has rotated in. Picks up the Terror on the back. Panos is super low. Gets picked up by just one auto from the back of the Izanami. Tirok goes through that. New stun does work. Locks him down. Ragnar's absolutely done for here. Then there should have be enough to have a Gold Fury pull for Signs of Life. Beautiful rotation through from Solana. Just enough to make a difference. Just at the right time. I mean, if Afterlife didn't surrender earlier, they should surrender now. Signs of Life secured a commanding lead. Excellent fight around the Gold Fury. But it's not what Afterlife have drafted for, really, has it? Early Gold Furies and objective burn. Afterlife have drafted for these protracted, drawn-out engagements. They want long-range, Yuhuang poke. They want all-in, and then get out from the circuit, and they want to heal up. They want to constantly and continually just heal up, look and poke and heal, and look and poke and heal, and then when they force somebody out, take an uneven fight with a Terra ult. And win the game like that. Poke onto Galadriel. I don't think there's any chance of them actually killing the Terra here. No, this is just a warning. You can't be stepping through the jungle like that. We're here, and we will hurt you. More crit for Baka. Probably going to a Bloodforge now. We'll see how that continues to go. As long as the Bakasura continues to lock down these targets with this cripple field, the fight should keep going in the way of Signs of Life. That cripple field was huge in last engagement. Stopped the Terra being able to do anything. Stopped the Circuit from getting away. Big damage onto the Guan Yu as well. Looks like Signs of Life are going to push down this tower. There are 3 people here. I don't know if Afterlife have realised this. Yeah, they see JJ on the side here and they're going to have to back off. JJ ulting in, but Ragnar gets out almost for free. There's plenty of people still here. I don't know if this is worth committing for. He picks it up anyway. Still 2 people here. His army has to ult defensively, but everyone's backing off now. Unfortunately, Circuit has made the rotation. Pedas is ulting in onto the Circuit. Circuit beads it, but Ragnar's still there. I don't know about that ult in. I think you'd already pushed your luck far too far there, Signs of Life. And the ult in. I thought it was going to be a really, really smart ult out as the Circuit comes, because the Circuit can't chase down a Danza rocket. Even that's too much for a Circuit. The ult in when the Circuit still has beads up is questionable. Oh. Aim Blue getting chunked by Agni bombs. Absolutely chunked. Cryonaut has had the better of this lane from start to finish. No question who's got mid pressure. Dark's making the most impact, I think, in these games though, so far. It's all about the Circuit. Even though she's 2 levels down the Bakasura, that's just Bakasura passive, right? Tons of farm. You always get tons of farm. 3 levels down the Bakasura now, in fact. But the Circuit, when the Circuit has isolated the target and commits to it, that person usually dies. There's not been much that Signs of Life have been able to do about that. And it means that even the team fights they're winning, they'd often leave a member behind, which makes objective calls a little bit more complicated, a little bit more risky. You're going for a proxy. I haven't seen those in a while, and there's 4 people collapsing onto him. He is a solo laner, so if anyone should be able to get out, it's him. Oh, Fearless just off the mark from Miltz. It's going to be difficult to catch Jimmy Diablo now. Has to blink and has to ult to get out. So that's good burns. Are Signs of Life just going to pull the Fire Giant here? It's a possibility. It might have been a really good call, to be honest. But I guess Pedas isn't there. You don't quite have the damage for it. Agni and Bakasura have good damage. Maybe not enough. JJ just forces the immunity out. Forces the immunity out from Yuhuang. I don't remember what that immunity is called. It's called Celestial Flight. Posturing around for this Gold Fury respawn is a 5-man grouping from Signs of Life, looking for a pick in the back of the jungle. 2 good blinks and they completely miss the stealth. Oh, blinks used for absolutely nothing. The stealth on this Izanami has been wrecking them. The Izanami has been putting really good damage in these team fights. Speaking of really good damage, there she is, chucking it into both Pedas and Panos at the same time. That ult is back up already on the Guan. Ah, be those cooldown resets from the 1. Cryonic lives through that thanks to the Panos' ult. Pedas picks up Jimmy Diablo. Izanami dashes forward to try and catch out JJ Master. Gets it with the ult over the wall. It's a 1-for-1. Solo for jungle, but Circuit has made it to the back. Panos is low. But they've had to dip now. Miltiades, I don't think, has the damage to solo out Galadriel, but he's going to try. Is he? Or is he not? He's maybe going to try. He's thinking about it. No. No, he's not going to. The blinks are down already. Damn, that fight would have gone so well if they'd been able to catch the Izanami. But they've gone for the Gold Fury call anyway. Tier is over here and can still tank it. There's a lot of damage on the side of Pedders and Cry. They're gonna be able to just take it. Yeah, good call there. Recognizing that Afterlife have to reset and have all backed off. And you've still got the health to tank up the Gold Fury. Very nice. Pedders now topping the damage charts. Straight to Pyro? Straight to Fire? No, they're checking. They're checking Fire. No wards on it yet, just making sure that wasn't going down at the same time. Signs of Life have been in command of this game in terms of objective calls. They've forced the fights and then secured the objectives afterwards. Afterlife trying to secure a consolation Pyromancer prize, but there's too many people around for Signs of Life. You've got to drop it. You've got to drop it and take a fight. JJ drops the ult onto Dark, but gets absolutely clapped. He's trying to jump over the wall, but the burn from Aim Blue is going to be enough. Jewel Dragon's used, doesn't connect. Cryonic gets caught in the back. But Miltiades is there. Manages to catch out Arc finally after a huge ult stun. The fight's continuing. Pedders has rotated into the fight now. Galadriel low. Panos low. Miltiades bullying out Ragnar as hard as he can. Silence comes through. If he gets any support, she's dead. But it's only Pedders left, and Pedders is gone. Pedders ults the wall? Okay. I think that was a misclick on the side of Pedders. If Pedders had been in that rocket as a Danzaburi, he might have been able to join the fight and clean up entirely. Anyway. Pyromancer secured eventually for Afterlife after killing off for 4 for 2. Fight a little bit split there on the sides of Signs of Life. Not quite got the same people doing the same amount of damage to the same targets. Yeah. Problem for Signs of Life so far has actually been this Izanami. The Izanami manages to get out of the fight, avoid any hard CC or engages being used against her, and then start chucking autos and damage back in. She's been a huge deciding factor in these fights. Could be worth picking up an Arendite to chase her out of stealth with how well she's been getting away from things. Looks like JJ's going for something else though, maybe a Dominance on the side of the Bakasura. Yeah, it could definitely be worth considering an Arendite if you want to chase out this Izanami, which I think is the cool Fire Giant pull. Now for Afterlife. Bakasura's got a long rotation on the back, but Panos has been just committed on. 5 people doing damage into him. The Athena just isn't tanky enough to live through all that. The Bakasura flank is still there, but he's been spotted out now. And been chased. Is he going to be able to take out Dark before the rest of the team comes through? No. Not quite. The ults come in. Signs of Life have engaged on this. Dragon's Call pushes everybody in. Pedders gets absolutely demolished. Miltiades is getting destroyed as well. Has to ult out. Dark picks up J-Master in the back. Yeah, that fight was very split. Panos got abandoned and yeah, JJ wasn't in position yet on the Bakasura. Yeah, just quite out a little bit too far forward as Panos. And that's a free Fire Giant now for Afterlife. Dark has built tanky. Cryonic can probably solo him. It's not that close. Dual dash forwards. The rest of the team's going to be coming forward now. I think Cry realises that instantly. Decides to turn around, tuck tail between his legs and run. Yeah, Ragnar's still pretty much uncontested in his army. 5 and 3. So it's not like she hasn't been locked down. But the fights have just been a bit too split on the sides of Signs of Life. There's a much tighter grouping, much better positioning on the sides of Afterlife. And more importantly, we haven't been able to eliminate this Izanami from the game. She's still a factor in the fight. She's chucking in so much damage. These autos are cleaving through. The Chins and the Dominance and the Oboe have been doing huge work. A big number, especially on Panos, who's level 14 at 24 minutes. He just doesn't have the tankiness. The level deficit is really, really telling. Afterlife goes straight to Primal Fury. Signs of Life in no position to contest this. Jungle clearing back camp, Solana on the lane. Dark just walks forward and eliminates Pedders, whose actives are still down from the last fight. Full on retreat now for Signs of Life. You've got to start thinking about a Phoenix defense now. You've got to put that together. They've got Fire Giant. They're pushing down. They're going to set up. They're going to push down left, and they're going to go for Phoenix. JJ commits onto Dark again, but Dark is too tanky. You can't one-shot him. He can just walk out the cripple field before you kill him. The Stone of Binding, Protector of the Jungle, for Dark is doing a huge amount of work and letting him survive these for free. Taunt in after the Dark engage, but he's just going to back it off out. They're going to pop heals from Jim Diablo. No, Jim Diablo just going to dive on in. They're going to commit onto Cryonic. Absolutely fantastic dive from the side of Afterlife. Well coordinated. Eliminates Cryonic if he has a chance to make anything happen. Panos too far down in levels. Can't really contribute. Excellent Fearless back from Miltiades though. Forces Arc into Phoenix. Takes the Phoenix shot. He might have saved that Titan defense. Yep, has for now. They don't lose Titan for it. Afterlife just going to back off and take some T2s. Elting in from Pedas and Miltiades. 2v4. I'm not sure if this Phoenix can be saved. There's a lot of work to do. Jim Diablo is low, but so's Pedas. Where did all that damage come from? Ragnar eliminates Pedas again. Cleave autos, long range 2s. There's not enough or any focus on this Izanami in the fight. But if you focus on the Izanami, there's a Yu Huang pumping just as much damage into the backline. Pyromancer goes down again on the side of Afterlife. More bombs available, easier Phoenixes to be taken. Catch-up gold available for Signs of Life, but the lead has spiraled out of control into a 7.5k lead. How does Signs of Life get back into this? A really, really tight, cohesive Phoenix defense. The Bakasura ult has got to stop being used on the circuit. It's not doing anything. She just walks out of it and you can't crit her down fast enough. You've got no support on that. It needs to be used in the middle of the Phoenix, or it needs to be dropped on the Izanami, who is maybe the easiest person for the Bakasura to kill. Bakasura's got crit. Izanami has, well, one crit item. Bakasura should be able to chunk through the Izanami. If he can do that at the same time that Afterlife is diving the backline on the side of Signs of Life, and there's a good chance of a comeback being mounted, I think. Setting up for Fire Giant now for Afterlife. It should be free. There's fire waves pushing down left and mid. Signs of Life don't have much steal potential. There's nothing really drafted for it beyond Agni bombs. Maybe a giant tier ult. See if Miltiades' Deathwalker cosplay can come through. Was that a blink used by Circuit to get out of trouble? No. Don't know what blink that was. It was Bakasura blink on JJ to get out of trouble. Speaking of trouble, Cryonic's low, Pedas is low, Dark picks up JJ off on the side, Pedas is on his own. Good taunt come through to save him, but Ragnar's still putting so much damage through on all over the fight. Shredder's all good on Panos, being chased down now by 3. It's just Miltiades left alive, and this is game. That's it. Minions are in the Titan room. It's all over. Yeah. Good pressure early on the sides of Signs of Life, but the team fight set up and positioning just wasn't there. Just wasn't there this time. Well, there are a lot of catch-up mechanics in the game. The early game does mean stuff because you were getting thumped early game, but you were able to bring it back. If you'd lost early game, this game would have been over much earlier, much faster. But like your early game was theirs. You weren't winning the early game. You were in control on objective calls, but they were out farming you all over the rest of the map. Like despite the fact that you got Gold Furies and Pyromancers, you were still just even in gold for most of it. For most of it. You did establish a lead towards the end. Alright. Let's take a look at the other game. I hear there's a game 2. Game 2 will be recorded for the archives. Socket ban instantly. Instantly for Signs of Life. Good choice. Excellent choice. It was the biggest problem they had to face, without a doubt. Oh, ban's coming through quick. Holy shit. Socket, Herbois, Marticurus, Thor insta-locked. And then Aphrodite, Hercules, Nox. Aphrodite was left open all of last game. Nobody banned her at any point. Nobody picked her at any point. Top meta support, and everybody ignored her. Oh, Matthias, the second time we're doing the lobby. Okay, right, so bans are already established and some picks are already established. I see. Okay. Cool. Lobby game redone. Okay. And JJ, Susano, Thor, Jingwei. So Jingwei probably going to Pedders in ADC. Can't see it being played anywhere else. Susano probably going to JJ in jungle. Again, can't see it being played anywhere else. Which means Thor is going to go to Miltiades in solo. Ram and Horus slammed on the other side. I assume that Horus is going to solo. Who knows? Agni, that's definitely going on the mid for Aim Blue. Smart pickup for them. It was the biggest problem they had, especially in the early game. Signs of Life have banned out a Mercury and a Guan. And a Baba Yaga and a Morgana on the other side. Yeah, some other strong picks, certainly well within Cryonic's God pool. Good to get rid of. Taking away the Agni that he likes the most, but there's always a Merlin. There's always a Merlin. And it's more healing. It's more healing on the side of Afterlife. They know the meta and they want to play it. Now they're playing Sylvanas and they're playing Horus. So Sylvanas in support, Horus solo. It's just healing. Like, you've got to find an answer to this healing. That's why Socket's so popular. Yeah, you think about Cerberus. You think about anti-heal items. Who else has got anti-heal built in? Can't think of anyone else who's got anti-heal built in. It's definitely there. There's definitely some. Support not picked on the side of Signs of Life. I'd like a Cerberus, honestly. Like, unlike the last game with the Terror, who's knock-up immune, there's no knock-up immunity on their side, so Cerbolt's going to connect. And on the Agni as well, if Agni uses dash, Cerbolt locks him out of position. Bullies a lot of them, in fact. And the Wheelix, last lock-in on the side of Afterlife. And that's gonna make Jingwei's life real difficult. Real difficult. Jingwei's the only one with a self knock-up style thing that gets done by a Wheelish. Horus has a knock-up. Sylvanas has a knock-up. So there's some stuff to combo off. Yeah. But it's the same deal. Same deal on the side of Afterlife. They're playing the meta, they're playing healers, and they're drafting to win. I've been informed by an inside source that this was a very unserious game, by which I imagine that Signs of Life were fed up and just started losing and started trolling, as is always the way. Right, let's go. ADCs to the bottom. Supports. Like that? Yes, looks like it. Okay. Yep, Thor going to solo again. Horus going to solo, so Horus is going to absolutely dunk on the Thor. It's not going to be close. Will not be surprised to see First Blood coming out of solo once again. Mental coming out the window. Oh, where's that infamous Signs of Life mental? I guess the infamous Signs of Life mental gets you through the first 3 weeks of SOC. The 4th week of SOC, there's nothing to play for anymore, so you might as well give up. Nothing. Oh, actually, yes, something. There's a Gilded Arrow star on Ram. You don't see that much anymore. So Ram either going for a crit or a bow build, and given that bow builds haven't existed for the past, I don't know, 2 years, probably a crit build. So you start thinking about new Spectral and whether that's worth picking up. AP5 earring. Thor again assumes he won't have blue buff control all game. See if that works out. And that pretty similar starts across the board. Nothing funky, no invades. They're using their AoE autos to clear all the buffs at once. They're going to come weak into lane though. But they're going to come to lane so far in advance. That pressure is going to belong to the Sylvanas. Let's see if we can not repeat the same early mistakes. Willick's looking for the blink. JJ putting damage into her. But gets hit by both the feather step and the Agni stuff at the same time. Agni dashes forward. Chronic beads is nothing. Just in order to get out of dodge. And there's just too much damage taken in mid. Too much, too fast. Dark stays around as they did last time. Just looking for that. Looking for that double tap. Dark wants a 1-2 and he's going to do it again. Going to come around. This is what they've done every game so far. Backflip takes them into tower though. No, not take out. They don't take a second tower shot. Oh dear. That's a real shame about what's happening there in mid. Luckily, Aim Blue steps too far forward and gets pulled back into tower, so there's one return kill at least from JJ there. Dark's still kind of low. No shard up. JJ has blink but isn't going to go for it. Isn't going to go for it. Meanwhile, over in solo, yeah, the Horus has just done Horus stuff. If you're not a Hercules, or even if you are a Guan, if you're not a Hercules, basically, Horus First Blood is almost inevitable. Almost inevitable. Pressure in the side of duo lane has definitely gone the way of Afterlife. Panos still level 2 for Signs of Life. Poor Kuzumbo. Ooh, great pluck. Great freehand pluck from Galadriel. Those minions are definitely going to get pushed into tower now. No, Panos manages to keep them out. They don't lose any gold. Oh, they lose a little bit of gold. Lose a little bit of gold. Peda's trolling after all that work Panos put in to save that minion. Probably going to try and poke out Aim Blue, but it's Aim Blue on the Agni this time. How are you going to deal with that lane pressure? And you're not playing Pressure Mage yourself. Miltiades about to lose blue buff to the invade once again. Freehanding the hammer for lane clear. That means he doesn't have it to contest this blue buff, which is gone instantly. Wheelish's early damage is no joke. That's a back camps invade as well. Is she going to go all the way for the speed? No. No, just back camps. Red's there, and JJ's just coming out of base. She could be collapsed on here. She should be collapsed on here. She's used everything to clear the buff. Chronic is low, but they should be able to get to it. Oh no, she just manages to pick it up. She's going to jump over the wall and go straight for damage onto Cry. Takes a tower shot for it. Single Agni Bomb though. That's a real shame. I think JJ just hit 5 off of that speed buff that he cleared. Otherwise I feel like Willis was absolutely dead if JJ had Typhoon available. But speaking of dead and Typhoon available, JJ's found the Horus. That manages to catch the dash with the pullback and picks up a blue buff on the gank. Oh, but the rest of the team's here. No way JJ gets out of this one. He is toast. The Agni Bleed's going to do for him. Big rotation coming through from mid. I did not expect to see that. I thought after the red buff, they really should want to dip. Looks like they saw the blue buff invade coming. Pedas hits 5. He's going to be pretty safe on this Jingwei for the foreseeable future. Posturing around the gold buff, see if they can steal it. Ulting it. Ulting it and getting it, thank God. They should be fighting this. There's a no HP. Yeah, they should have gone in there, really. There's a no HP Sylvanas, and you've got the jungler on the way. Pedas has rotated around, misses the knock-up. JJ's here, pulls back Galadriel. Good push through from Panos to pick up the support. Willis is coming, but is really nowhere near as long as Signs of Life don't overstay. Don't overstay. Don't overstay. Oh, good jukes choose on the snipes. Only just does JJ stay alive. Skin of his teeth on that one. Down about 1.5 K a Signs of Life for 5 minutes. It's significant, but it's not unwinnable. The plays reflect that. Miltiades going to lose his blue buff again. There's a tree on the way to help out now, and a mid laner, and a jungler. Yeah, this is absolutely gone. He could actually have hammered that through the wall. He actually had the opportunity to do so, but maybe the hammer was down. Ooh, is this another blade coming through? The cleave auto, the wing auto, the golden blade damage. It's a lot. Shard is popped. Can Milts get out of this? Ooh, just in time. He doesn't live through that without the shard for sure. That was skin of his teeth again. Agni Bomb's looking for that red buff again, just a little bit off the mark. People pull it a little bit further back than you expect nowadays. JJ's invading the purple buff on the left hand side, making use of his extra mobility and knowing that Wheelix is coming with that blue buff invade. Yeah, but the Ram's aware of that. JJ's walking over a ward. They've got it all warded out. Wards on both entrances. Very few wards on the side of Signs of Life. Just a couple over on the left hand side of mid. And one at the blue buff. Gold buff is still secured by Signs of Life, so the neutral farm's still going their way. Lead remains steady at 1.5 K. It's more the XP that's relevant. At 1.5 K is no real item difference. Biggest issue now is really not letting this Wheelix snowball into a lead. Got to keep tabs on where she is at all times and dip as hard as you possibly can whenever she shows up in lane. Miltiades trying to bully out a Horus. Pretty difficult to do. He's got that healing. He's got that passive. Oh, really good Protector Surge over to the Bastion from Horus. Instinctive flick, just instant. As soon as he figures out Susano's here, is just out of trouble as well. Very good. There's a 3v2 now in mid. If Panos gets surprised or knocked up, there could have been a Wheelix ult over the wall. They don't go for it though. They don't go for it. They definitely could have full comboed him over the wall. But ult's still down on the side of Galadriel. That's not going to happen. A Wheelix invading the chests. Panos secures that bonus gold with a Kappa. So not looting too much. But yeah, Wheelix using the Suku mobility to farm as much of the map as possible. Coming into mid now. Looking for an opportunity, but the boys spot her out. Mid lane's not going to do that. JJ gets a pull in. Has Aim Blue already used his dash? Maybe. Good pressure there in mid. Do dump quite a few ults in order to get through it. Well, it's only the Merlin switch stance, really. Oh, JJ's seen the Wheeler. She's not super low. Maybe he can full combo her. Not if he misses the 2, though. And there's 4 people here now. JJ's caught out far behind enemy lines. He's still going to try and pick him up, but no. There's a knock up and there's a collapse. He's overstayed his welcome after a failed 1v1 kill. And the Wheelix really definitely had to get out. Gold extending a little bit further now. Yeah, net worth concentrated around mid lane. The Ram's still doing shockingly well as well for someone with no kills. Still managing to outfarm the Wheelix. I guess maybe Jingwei's had to split a bit too much farm with people coming over to Duo's side. No, Pedders has got the same level as Ram, and they've got more gold buffs and what have you. Maybe he's just not been able to do his own purple. This is a dance back. Like, if there's no way Pedders actually wanted to back. If he wanted to back, he'd be backing safely under the tower. I mean, you don't think he's baiting the Ram, but why bait the Ram? There's nobody on your side of the map anywhere near. JJ trying to make something happen in mid, just loses 3/4 of his health bar for it and nothing else. The Wheelish is rotating around the back. Gonna steal back camps. Gonna wait to hear if JJ's on speed. JJ is on speed. Gonna jump over the wall and... Yep! And steals a speed buff. Ooh, that's just rude. She gonna die for it though? Suku's down, no jump. Ults for something. Beads the knock up on the Kuzenbo. It's not going to be enough, is it? Is it going to be enough? No, thank God. Corona connects with the auto. And you're not going to get away with that level of, I don't know, sheer goal. Absolute insanity. Ooh, snipes come through onto Pedders. Gets 1v1 underneath the tower. That's rough to see. Ult already down the side of Pedders, so that's a heavily lost trade for him. JJ is here, but he can't step through. There's a sentry ward on that entrance, and if he steps through this way, the tower's going to be dead before he gets there. Yeah. The healing on the side of the Sylvanas has absolutely negated any of the damage Pedders might have done in that trade. But meanwhile, Thor manages to pick up the Horus in a 1v1. That's pretty solid. Don't know if that was over-aggression on the part of the Horus, who collapses under the T1. It's going well there. JJ just dies again. 1v3 as Afterlife go to pull Gold Fury. JJ has completely given up in this game, hasn't he? He's not even trying. He's just going in and screaming. That's the vibe I'm getting. Cryonic has already flickered, and they're just going to chase him out. I don't think Cryonic has any chance of getting out of this. Yep, that's a Gold Fury for Afterlife. Absolutely free again, off of a free pick onto the Susano, who's 3 levels down on the Wheelix and cannot be stepping forward like that going forward. Pedders beads the Wheelish knockup, but there isn't any Wheelish knockup. She used it already. And Pedder get picked up. JJ's going to try and take out the Rom in a last effort, but doesn't manage to do so. Gold Fury and 2 kills go the way of Afterlife. Now 12-5. Panos picks up the catch-up gold on the chest, so that's lucky. Afterlife still getting some gold income. LTS on the Thor in the meantime seems to be winning the actual 1v1 in this lane a little bit more. That's that Horus early damage. Once you've moved past that, you seem to be doing okay. Hope the Signs of Life have made a pyro pull call by now, but it's taken so long. There's no way they can do this. There's absolutely no way they can do this. Everyone's respawned and is back. There's Agni bombs over the wall to secure. There's only 2 people here. There's no damage coming through. Susano is levels down on everybody and can't put forth any significant damage. Panos gets caught out, and Arc is just too big at this point. 8-1. 12 minutes. JJ just dies to 2 abilities in mid. Chronic has to burn both actives just to get away from Dark, and it was maybe not enough. Dark could maybe have actually kept chasing that and gotten out. Pedders has made a rotation through, but he's level 11. He's the same level as the support. Thor goes into the air, but there's nothing to defend and there's nothing to dunk on. There's nothing to make happen here. The XP difference is just too big. Pedders manages to ult out. And meanwhile, Rama's pushing down a T2 and left. Yep, Pyro now gone the way of Afterlife as well. Just like the Signs of Life, coherence is just completely gone. Completely and utterly gone. The jungle's being invaded all over. Pedder's taking a 1v1 fight against a Ram when he's 3 levels down. JJ can't get close to try and deal with the Ram. Ram goes up into the air with the snipes. He should be dead on landing. He is, thankfully. It takes 2 people to take him down. Big pickup kill though, big shutdown. Not that big. A shutdown on the Wheelix would be huge, but JJ now only 2 levels down instead of 3. Cry's been caught out again. He's got no T1 tower to retreat to. The Wheelix just cannot be killed. Level 14 now at 14 minutes. Agni even bigger than that at level 15. And the Sylvanas is running around at the same level as the jungler and the ADC. So that's an unkillable support providing a huge amount of healing. That can't be stopped. Divine being picked up 3rd on the side of Cry. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be quick enough. Miltiades has to bees to get out. It's a good wall, but it only stuns 2. And Ark can just dive in with impunity at this point. effectively cannot be stopped. Invade on the speed buff again, coming through from Afterlife. They could be doing Fire Giant, but instead they're just waiting to hear that JJ's abilities are down and just running at him. Absolutely running at him. There's no control of the old jungle. The wards have fallen off for Signs of Life entirely. There are no blue wards on the map at all. Is this a blue ward here? Yes, that's one. One blue ward on the map entirely. And the mentals rattled, they just stopped warding and they seem to have forgotten. It's especially important when you've got a dominant jungler like this just running right through your jungle. Good Aegis and use a lot of damage. The beads managed to get away from the Wheelix stuff. And that's the Jingwei special. Actually manages to get out of that, which should have been an impossible gank. It should be a free goal for you. They have burned quite a lot for it. Cryonic is there. Manages to flicker over Suku and returns a fair amount of damage towards Dark. Panos goes for the Only Fury and doesn't quite steal it. Good effort though. Can he get out? Why is he walking forwards? There's not really enough people here. They're going to try for it though. Thor Dunk is off the mark. Forces the beads and the Aegis on Aim Blue. JJ's in. Instantly dies. The Typhoon does go off there. The backline for Afterlife is weak if they can get to them, but they seem to be all concentrating on Galadriel, which is leaving the path open for Sensei Dark to come back in. Disengage now when they're all so low? Oh, that's a shame. Scared off by the threat of Dark sticking around. Dark's still sticking around. He's going to manage to find Cryonic, who's taken a path that takes him away from the rest of his team. Aim Blue is back in this fight. Cryonic has been completely abandoned. Still sticking around. Is that enough finally to shut down Dark? A good hammer and wall combo from Miltiades. Just enough to get all the way out. Doesn't manage to clear the archers. Those are only wave minions. He's got to die to tower here. He's got to die to tower here. He's just going to die. Afterlife are holding W key as firmly as they can. JJ is level 13 at 17 minutes. One level behind the support. Panos can't walk at this support. He's 5 levels up on him. JJ can't look at anybody. JJ needs to be farming. JJ does not need to be trying to fight 1v4. Panos has to ult just to get out of this. And is maybe going to manage to do so. On the Kuzumbo. Nope. There's minions that are there just enough for the protective surge. Pedders has to dash out already. The ult's up. Is he going to die to a burnout or a bleed or a tick? Nope. He's good, but the snipes are true. Ragnar manages to pick up Pedders with some very accurate Rama snipes, hitting only the third and hardest to hit shot. It's looking pretty grim. Pretty grim for Signs of Life. Almost the entire team is behind their entire team in net worth. The Wheelix has just opened this game up hugely. It's all from that 2v2 fight in mid early on. That goes so poorly. So very poorly. Well placed feather step can win you a game, it seems. Just kind of snowballed from there. Pyromancer down now for Afterlife. It's 18 minutes in, and for them it feels like it's 25, 30 minutes in. Yeah, they've got 4 items across the board in all their builds. Except this Horus, who hasn't finished this. I assume Genji's. Yeah, it's Fire Giant o'clock for them, and Signs of Life would rather have another 10 minutes to farm up and try and get closer to Afterlife's level and gold lead. But there's 3 people posturing on Fire Giant. The Typhoon from Susano does not steal it. It's off the mark, and now it's a reset and defend Phoenix's time. Your best bet is getting a big old team wipe from fighting under Phoenix. They've only got... Actually, they don't have any runic bombs. They use the runic bombs in the Fire Giant fight, but JJ's been caught out again. Being greedy, sticking around in mid. 5 people come out of the jungle and just pick him. I think without the Susano, there's not really much they can do to defend this Phoenix. they show a strong enough presence, maybe Afterlife back off and only take towers. That looks to be the case. They're resetting now. Yeah. Nope, going back for Gold Fury, it seems. Dark has backed. They don't know, because there's no wards. Their jungle kind of rude us? Yeah, but JJ also kind of rude you, because he started trolling. Don't know what the fuck he was doing. He's died like 7 times needlessly by standing in places that he shouldn't be. Engage is tribe, I thought. They tried to make something happen, but they don't actually have a man advantage. There's only 3 of them there. Oh, and a Horus ult chasing down Pedders. It's just the Horus though. That's enough to force out the Jingwei ult. It's just a Gold Fury. Don't know why the call was to contest. The call maybe should have just been to let it go. Now, at this point, 3 people to defend 1 left side Phoenix. Panos and Milts are up now. Will it be enough if Afterlife just walk on through, recognizing that nobody's here? Oh, good pull. Forces the beads from Pedders. Freehand as well. But it's a 5v5 Phoenix defense. With a 10k and Fire Giant deficit. It's possible. It's possible for Signs of Life. It's going to be very tricky to do so. And again, Afterlife have got the advantage in this. They've got 2 healers. They're just going to sit back, heal up all the poke, and only take their fights at full HP. Horus is taking quite a lot of damage. The CC is good. This is the Phoenix defense they wanted. Susano has actually done a huge amount of damage. Ragnar does manage to shred through Panos, but that's trading your support for 2 members of Afterlife. This is the bit where he says the thing. Blue team did good, and it looks like they might be able to possibly get somewhere towards winning now. But then this happens. So like, I don't know. This is a Signs of Life special, and 1.8 is a Pedders special. Winning 1 fight and then believing that that means you have the ability to go wander off into the jungle on your own against a team that's 10k up on you. Like you win 1 fight and you don't chase them out. You're way too far down here. You're still on Phoenix defense, and Fire Giant still is your only ways back into the game. There's no chance that chase is a good idea ever. It's just too risky, and the reward is too low. That's high risk, low to no reward. Best case scenario, what? You pick 1 person again? It's not worth it there. On the plus side, because Pedders is level 17, his death time is pretty low, so he's already back. JJ stepping way too far forward again, trying to 1v1 Dark. He is only 2 levels down this time instead of 4. So that's gone pretty well, but Cryonic has been caught out and baited as a result of JJ standing too far forward. That's the mid laner gone. Rama Snipes manages to clean up Pedders, and Horus is ulted after JJ, has to blink away. Meanwhile, Miltiades is in mid trying to fight with Dark, but how on earth is that ever going to work? And Panos has been abandoned in a 1v3. They're just going to run down mid now. Yeah, the rest of Sun's Life has got to go back to Fountain and Heal, which means this mid Phoenix absolutely falls. Absolutely falls. Yeah, bomb used as well. Mid Phoenix gone. They might try for the end here as a level 17 Thor and level 18 Susano, and all the Agni bombs dropped on top of JJ. He's got to go. Miltiades has already been shredded. This is the end. Signs. Oh, plucked out Fountain as well. That's just cruel. That's just cruel. Unnecessary, man. Not convinced it's that high risk. It is high risk. You're risking yourself. That's a full 30 seconds of farm that you've missed on a character that needs farm, and you're perpetually underfarmed in this whole game. You need that minion XP and you need that gold desperately. Yeah, sure they don't get much for killing you, but then you're gone from the team, and that's those chins procs that then aren't happening Nobody else can step up for a fight. Because you've died there's a chance that they just turn around and march back at Phoenix. A chance. A small chance. It is. It's too risky. In an SOC game, way too risky. Way too risky to go for that. You've done one successful Phoenix defense. It's you going in off your own that's the problem. If all of you are going 5v3, yeah, great. You walk into the jungle as a five stack. You should be able to win that fight now. The character difference is enough. The fact you've got 5 people versus 3, but you on your own, like you don't win any of those fights 1v1. You're too underfarmed. And if you're not winning any of those fights 1v1, why are you going into the jungle alone in a place you've got no wards? You're going to die, especially with how that week has been playing all game. She's been running through your jungle. She's going to be there. She's going to go for you. And you aren't going to win it. Best case scenario, like, you go in, you find the Awilix, she uses a lot of cooldowns to try and kill you, and you get out. That's the best case scenario. That's the best thing that can happen there, with you going on your own. And you have probably to burn all your actives and ult to do so. No, there are no fights, but that hasn't stopped this Awilix all game. She's been running at back camps, she's been running at speed buff. She's just there to kill. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't expect them, but they've done that all game. Obviously, you weren't in mid, you can't see it, but all game, like that lady Dark has just gone around. She's just looped back around. In mid, she did it 3 times. Both games, she pretended to leave, came back for a gank into mid and jungle. Pretended to leave, came back for a gank into mid and jungle, and she did the same. The whole team's played like that. Actually, the support was doing that. The support waited in the little side area for ADC for a full minute and a half, waiting for you to step forward, so she could Terra monolith you for an ineffective gank in game 1. But yeah, that's the week 4 SOC games for Signs of Life. They can go on the roster.